How's everybody doing? If you didn't watch my 10,000 mile review video that I did on this Ram 2500, this is a 2021, I'll link to it in the description. Something I alluded to in that video that I didn't really talk about that much because I didn't want to make the video, an hour and a half long, was is that I had a top 3 things that I needed when I was looking for this truck. I searched in a 3-hour radius of where I live. 3-hour radius, and I'm getting a tradesman, so clearly there's a lot of them out there, but the Hemi it's kind of the rare model. But the 3 things that I needed, put aside the Hemi, the 3 things that I needed was I needed this color, this silver color, I needed 410 gears, and I needed the Snow Chief group. I'll link to a Snow Chief group video in the description, and the 410 video in the description as well. But the interesting thing is that after 10,000 miles, I have realized that a group that I got, just because it came with the truck, I really got lucky that it did, because this thing, I would have had a top 4, honestly. And I probably would have maybe even swapped it out for 410 gears. And that is the bed utility group. I have to admit, this thing, you really cannot get a 2500 without this bed utility group. I don't know. It's amazing to me that this stuff doesn't come with the truck, or at least something doesn't come with some of this stuff. Here's what you get with the bed utility group. It's not that expensive either. I think it might be around $800 or something like that. You're going to get lights. You're going to get lights in the bed. You got lights on this side, you got lights on that side, and then you got lights that actually get covered up because I have this new Snap Outfitters Treehouse camper top on. There's a light in the back of the cab, 2 lights that shine down into the bed. So you get the lights. You get a step. It's like a fold-out step that I've talked about. It's a little bit dangerous. Once you get used to it, it's fine. But with a 2500, if you don't have a step, you're screwed. Right, you're absolutely screwed. Some other trucks, like the Silverado, has steps on the side of the bed, just 4 steps. They come with it. They come with most models. But this, you want a step, you need to get this bed utility group that has a fold-out step. If not, you can buy this fold-out step aftermarket, or a fold-out step. In fact, I'll link to a couple. There's one really good one that I can't really remember the name of right now, but I'll link to it in the description. And the next thing, the last thing that it gives you is a spray-in bed liner. And this spray-in bed liner is so tough. I cannot believe how tough this thing is. I talked about this in the 10,000 mile review. I put in the camper bed build, and I had to ground my lithium battery, and I grounded it to the bed. But to do that, I needed to take off this spray-on liner. It took me 30 seconds, actually 30 seconds with a flapper wheel, which is a very long time, for 30 seconds to get it down to bare metal so that I could attach the ground to it. And you want the spray-in bed liner. You don't want the plastic drop-in one. Why? Because 2 things. It takes up room, and it's just crappy. It gets bent, and all kinds of things happen to it, and it makes all kinds of terrible noises and stuff. But also, you get a crack in it, water gets underneath there, and it can rust stuff out. You don't want that drop-in one at all. Good thing about the drop one is if it does get screwed up, you can replace it. But I'm telling you, I've had this spray-in on here for 10,000 miles. I used the hell out of it, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with this thing. There is no chips. There's no little pieces that have fell. I don't know. This thing is meant so that you could throw cinder blocks back here, no problem. That's what it's meant. The bed is going to bend probably before the spray-in liner is going to chip off, if that makes sense. I could not have got this truck without this bed utility group. If you are thinking about buying a 2022 or whatever, a leftover 21, make sure you get the bed utility group. It's impossible to use this truck. First of all, it's impossible to use this truck without a step. If you don't have a step, you can't even get in the thing. I'm 6'1". I have trouble getting into this. Look, watch this. I don't have a lift in the back. There's no lift. This is just standard height. And honestly, I have some weight on here. I probably got about 400 pounds on here. Getting up here, I cannot put my foot up there. You need a step to get into this thing. So the fact that they don't give you a step is a little ridiculous, but it is what it is. You gotta have the bed utility group. You just factor in that 800 bucks. You gotta get it, or you gotta buy the step aftermarket. But then you're not gonna get the spray-in liner, and the spray-in liner is really everything. Also, I would do this if my camper bed wasn't blocking the lights, those two lights. Replace these lights. Replace those lights with LEDs. I'll link to some in the description. People have told me they're great. I'm just not going to buy them because they don't do anything for me. But that's it. Bed utility group. It's a must-have. All right, everyone. Thanks.